Prepare to have your childhood memories destroyed by this terrifying SpongeBob conspiracy theory that uncovers the dark truths behind our friends down in Bikini Bottom. The theory is, SpongeBob SquarePants and the rest of the characters in the show actually represent the 7 deadly sins. SpongeBob represents lust. His obsessive passion for everything he does is intense, whether it's his job, friends, or hobbies. Patrick represents sloth. Patrick is the epitome of laziness, always sleeping under his rock and avoids any form of work or effort. Squidward represents wrath, constantly angry and frustrated, especially with SpongeBob and Patrick. Mr. Krabs represents greed. Mr. Krabs has an uncontrollable hunger for money. He'll go to any lengths to make a profit, often at others' expense. Sandy represents pride. Sandy takes immense pride in her abilities and intelligence. Her arrogance and need to prove her superiority highlights immense pride. Plankton represents envy. Plankton is consumed by jealousy of Mr. Krabs' success. Gary represents gluttony. Gary has an excessive craving for food. His constantly hunger and love for eating highlights extreme gluttony.
I think in a way it's the truth because it depicts every character and its attitude or lifestyle in this cartoon series.
So what puppet are you gonna pick anyway? Let's see. Eeny, meeny, miny. Ow! What? What? This can't be happening! What did you do to my body? Sorry, kid, but you're my puppet now! This can't be happening. This can't be happening.
He made a deal with the Illuminati, and then it made his eyes like reptilian. That explains so much about celebrities.
Pain is hilarious. And 2 eyes.
Wow. Shocking, guys.
The biggest lie that we just collectively accepted as a society was that you had to go to work in order to make money to survive, because you literally don't.
The miracles fucking happen. If you believe that you deserve it, the universe will serve it.
I'm going to explain how I got to that point, but this information is only going to resonate with people who have gotten to the point in their journey where they radically surrender to flow. So what that means is that you are no longer arguing with your intuition. You just accept what it's telling you your next step is, even if it sounds crazy. So there's this thing called tribal consciousness, which is basically the understanding that it is everybody's birthright to manifest their basic necessities: food, water, shelter, clothing. If you didn't grow up in a wealthy household, then you likely were not taught that these things were your birthright because you had to watch your parents struggle to provide your basic necessities. Therefore, you were disconnected to tribal consciousness. So for those of us who didn't grow up in wealthy households, you have to retrain your brain to think, I am worthy because I am worthy. Because what you believe is that you have to earn your basic necessities by working as a robot for the system. You also believe that it's always going to be hard to make money because you watched your parents struggle and live paycheck to paycheck. So in your head, receiving abundance is hard. Therefore, you're always emitting that energy out, so you're always receiving that energy back. So you have one of 2 options to retrain your brain. You either take a calculated risk where you save up enough money to take the risk on yourself because you can just do it, or you do what I did and you just bet on yourself. It's always beautiful when you take a risk on yourself and you just trust when no one else does. I had been receiving signs for about a year from my spirit guides to break up with my fiance, quit my job, move away from my home state, and gut out all of my friends. Once I broke up with my fiance and then gutted out my entire friend group and started healing through some of the mental stuff, then it was time for me to do the big thing, which was quitting my job and still trusting that I was going to be okay. This $10,000 appeared out of thin fucking. After I quit my job, I had absolutely no backup plan and no idea what I was going to do, and somehow the universe started making surprises pop up for me the more I kept trusting, even when I had no reason to trust. That is what proves to the universe that you trust it enough. The universe is literally a mirror reflection of whatever energies you are emitting. So until you truthfully trust that you can survive without working in the matrix, you won't actually be able to manifest this money. So go ahead and go over to part 2 so I can tell you the story of how this money appeared out of thin fucking air right when I needed it.
Guys, there are those that believe that the universe is a god. They believe that when you stop this matrix, this kind of 24/7 matrix that we are in, and you begin to submit to the universe, this god that they believe in, the universe that is god to them, will supply your needs, right? So I know people that are into this, that have stopped working, and they believe that the universe will take care of them, and in a way, miraculously, they're living good. But this is a step of faith. You have to, train yourself to believing that this god, that is the universe, can supply your needs.
The record, page 55 from the committee's interview with FBI employees. Have some administrative matters first. I wanted to introduce into the record.
What is she doing, guys?
55 from the committee's interview with FBI employee Roya Demlow, who...
She's speaking some things from her mouth.
I wanted to introduce into the record page 55 from the committee's interview with page 55 from the committee's interview which took place on July 17, 2023. In that, which took place on July 17, 2023. In that, we're to leave this interview and we're to suggest or imply that when you said the laptop was real, that it meant that the FBI had affirmatively determined in October 2020 that the laptop belonged to Hunter Biden. We're to leave this interview and we're to suggest or imply that when you said the laptop was real, that it meant that the FBI had affirmatively determined in October 2020 that the laptop belonged to Hunter Biden.
So did
Guys, I'm not surprised. As an African, it is real. Now, when you go to some of our shrines, there are people that can, control another people's mind. They speak some words out, some gibberish words, and funny enough, it works. I'm not surprised about this video. Mind control really exists.
you see Elon Musk admitted that if Donald Trump and him get their way, there's going to be a whole bunch of economic pain before things get better? And I know a lot of people don't understand where this is coming from, so let me tell you. I used to be a libertarian, and this is a libertarian philosophy. Back when I was a libertarian, I believed that the country would need a huge amount of austerity and economic problems before we could get on the right track. Which is just bullshit, and is just a misunderstanding of how economic policies work in today's world. But the reason billionaires love this idea is, one, the first thing they want to get rid of is Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid. And then when all the old people die off, because yes, that is their plan, is to let all the old people just die off, then they won't have to worry about all these taxes and Social Security and stuff like that, since they're billionaires. And since the economy will collapse, all of the stock markets will drop and everything. And since they already have massive amounts of assets, they'll be able to buy up all these companies that didn't make it through the hard time for pennies on the dollar. And they'll be able to buy the houses and land from all the old people who couldn't make their mortgages once their Social Security was cut off. This is the plan of the billionaires. Yes, this is their fucking plan. They will cut off your Social Security, they will cut off your Medicare and your Medicaid, and let you die because they think that's better for their end of the economy.
Wait,
If this is really true, then it is really, really awful, guys.
have actual footage of him changing? Oh, this is him. Whoa, chat. Is he anamorphing before our eyes? Or is it just a weird angle with bad lighting? You be the judge. Look.
Disregard all the distortions and image artifacts caused by post-edition zooming, and pay close attention to how his head features suddenly change.
Whoa. Whoa!
His
Hey, yo!
What's the darkest part of history that you've recently discovered?
The real history of what Western Africa was like before white people got there. And I'll give you a thought experiment. You're quite a fit, athletic young man, 23 years of age, okay? Imagine you are a British sailor, okay? Same build you are now. You've been sailing for 3 months on this little wooden ship, eating nothing but hardtack. You got scurvy, you're sick, you're malnutrition, okay? We put you on the coast of Africa. It's 49 degrees, okay? You're in a thick red cotton jacket, and I give you a musket, a gun, a weapon of death. And I say, okay, here we are. I want you and the 60 other men on this boat to go and catch 300 of these big black African dudes from 20 miles inland, but you're not allowed to shoot them. No, you have to get them on the boat without hurting them. Somehow. Think you could pull that off? Me, you, the people in this room? 0% chance. I know you're not allowed to say it.
I have an idea of who could pull it off.
Yeah, but exactly. All the other black people who had all these wars with each other and were waiting on the beach with all their fellow Africans saying, here, take them, give us some more guns, we'll win the next war. That's very dark and it's very scary, especially when you understand how much they're trying today, to this point, to completely use propaganda to tell you it happened the way we were originally taught.
Yeah, so guys, what he really said is true. I'm from African once again, and what he's saying is perfectly true. That we're writing what really happened in this slave trade is really correct.
Man in history to have been a dwarf and a giant. Had a rainbow. At 19, he was dressed for 8. At age 33, he grew to the height of 7'2".
They asked AI generation, what would humans look like in the future? Check this out. It's crazy. Look. But it shows the time lapse of what humans will end up being like. Human evolution.
This is creepy, guys.
We turn to fucking wires.
Oh no.
We turn to wires, and now what does the wires mean? Think about it. What do the wires mean?
We just become technology.
We become the simulation.
This is serious, guys. If this would be our future, then it's so amazing.
Humans weren't meant to see. A man traveled to Egypt and placed a remote-controlled car inside one of the pyramids. The original poster claimed to have found something the government would want to keep a secret. He also wanted to be paid $5 million for the rest of the footage to be revealed, but it never did. As it gets deeper, it shows what appears to be a tall figure inside the chambers.
Wow, is there a person in it?
Living inside of the Earth. It's true. New information from NASA states that there is a large ocean beneath the Earth's crust, after scientists detected movement below the surface. Around 500 miles below, a large supply of water has been found stored in a rock named ringwoodite. But it gets even crazier. Scientists say that this rock is so huge that it contains 3 times the amount of water on the Earth's surface. This causes many to believe that there is more down there than we originally thought, possibly even civilizations. While the news of this discovery was over 10 years ago, it was never talked about. Is the government hiding this information from us? What do you think?
The ghosts of Titanic haunt the deep, bound to the ship's remains. Once they were passengers of hope and promise. Now they are shadows of the past.
Wow, guys, this is so serious. If the ghosts are still in the ocean, I think it fulfills what the Bible says in the book of Revelation, when Bible made mention that the ocean gave out their dead when it was time for judgment based on the Bible. So I believe when people die in the ocean, they are kept in the ocean till the day of judgment. Guys, thank you very much for watching the video to the end. Please drop us a like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.